You'd normally expect one of the greatest fighters in the MMA to be loved and respected by fans, right? Well, that's not always the case, and this lightweight champion knows it too well. Jon Jones is the most hated fighter ever, and here's why. Starting with the first thing you notice about a person, their persona. Jon Jones is boring. You want your favorite fighter to have a good personality, charisma, and good humor, and this 35-year-old just lacks all of them. There's no doubt that he's one of the greatest fighters out there, but there's just not a lot of him outside the octagon. This rubs fans in the wrong direction and brings him a lot of hate. Maybe a little personality would help the fighter become a little more likable. No one wants to support someone that's merely just a face and a body that's capable of throwing kicks and punches. Fans want more.
Jones trying to press the issue here. Trying to survive.
That's it. He's out. He's out.
Jon Jones has done it.
He's not powerful enough to carry the marketability of the UFC, and fans hate it. For as good as he is, he still needs to bring a lot more to the plate. And it's not just his personality that's boring. Lately, his fights have been putting fans to sleep as well.
Brutal elbow. Big elbows. Trying to finish this fight. Shogun's badly hurt, Mike. Jon Jones looking to finish Shogun. Vicious knee to the body.
When fans tune in to watch a fight, they want to be entertained. They want to see high-paced action, and Jones has been failing to deliver that. He's just too good. He knows he will win, so he just doesn't try hard enough, and fans are forced to watch a boring fight. He comes off as chubby and slow and has become a point fighter. We don't see any action in his fights anymore, and fans hate it. They just want to be entertained at the end of the day. And if you think this isn't a good enough reason to hate the fighter, hold on, because I have a lot more on my list. Jones has been dragged to court, and people don't really like him for that. Jon Jones was arrested for DWI. Having a criminal record doesn't put you in anyone's good books, and I'm sure this is something the athlete wished he could take back. Jones was arrested on May 19, 2012, when he crashed his Bentley into a utility pole in Binghamton, New York. The two-time lightweight champion was arrested for DWI. He went to court and pleaded guilty. Jones had to pay a $1,000 fine, install ignition interlocks on all his vehicles, and had his driver's license suspended for 6 months. His driver's license wasn't the only thing he lost, as the athlete had to watch his reputation go down the drain. It's hard to be liked by fans when you have something like that on your record. And while driving under intoxication is common, it's hard to ignore when you're a high-profile celebrity. But it's nothing his fellow fighters haven't done. Jeff Neal and Desmond Green have been arrested for the same charges. So why is Jones getting all the hate? Well, it's simply because this isn't the only reason why fans hate him. While we're on the topic of Jones and his illegal acts, driving isn't the only thing he got suspended from. Fighting's on the list as well. Jon Jones is a cheater. Let's be honest, no one likes a cheater. So when the results of a drug test for the man came positive for the use of a banned substance, he became one of the most hated fighters very easily. These results came in prior to his UFC 200 fight with Daniel Cormier in 2016. He was immediately removed from the fight and was replaced by Anderson Silva as Cormier's opponent.
Anderson slides under. Silva looking to finish. He caught him with a big knee. And
Big
an elbow
elbow.
by Anderson Silva.
He can submit people from this position alone without even the choke.
The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency suspended the fighter for a year, and while his lawyers try to argue to prove that he wasn't taking any illegal substances intentionally, it was just too late. He was presented as a cheater in front of the world, and fans really started questioning his ability. Now, it's worth mentioning that he wasn't responsible for full-fledged cheating, but it didn't really matter anymore. He was already not a favorite, and this didn't help his reputation get any better. Such a shame to have so much talent only to be hated by millions of people across the globe. I mean, if you look at the stats, Jones is absolutely killing it.
Again.
There's a nice elbow.
Caught him.
Oh, that might have hurt him.
Yeah, that did. Jones with
There's
a big
a vicious knee and a vicious elbow.
30 seconds left in the round. Gustafsson trying to escape.
His record is 26-1-0, and that's impressive.
Oh, big shots. Big shots by
Gustafsson
Jon
in a world
Jones.
of trouble here.
Gustafsson's in trouble. That's
Jon
it.
Jones has
That's it.
regained the throne.
Wow.
He's barely ever walked out of the octagon without a victory, and the MMA hasn't seen a lot like him. But no matter how undeniably talented he is, people still hate him. Maybe it's because he's trying too hard to become someone he isn't. This brings us to the next thing on my list. Jon Jones is fake. You often hear Bones talking about how he thinks his opponents are always better than him, but we all know that deep down he thinks he's the best, and he's just trying too hard to make fans believe he's humble. His fabled humility is nothing more than an act, and it just doesn't sit right with fans. If you think you're the best, just say it. Who are you putting on a show for? Jones signed autographs as UFC champion even before his fight with Shogun that won him the title. He's also talked about how he hates UFC belts sold at toy stores because somehow he thinks it diminishes the value of his real one. Insecure much? Yeah, being an egomaniac who denies it is a good way to turn people off. Fans want to love and support someone who doesn't have two completely different personalities on and off the screen. While people don't know much about Jones's life behind the scenes, they like to believe that whatever it is, they won't like it. It's probably because they hate the athlete so much already that they find it hard to believe he might do something that makes him likable. It's hard to find realness in Jones, and fans hate him for it. And while he lacks some really important things, he also overdosed on some things. And no, not in a good way. Jon Jones is a little too pious. Want to know a tip to be hated by the general public? Become a preachy character. No one likes that, and Jones is overdoing it like none other. No, I'm not saying that he should stop being a Christian or stop talking about it, but the way he's always talking about it makes fans wonder if there's anything else to his personality.
Jackson's got him. Looking to do it right here. Looking to finish this fight. Quinton's trying to pry it off.
Jon Jones has defended his UFC light heavyweight championship. He stops Quinton Rampage Jackson.
He has a large tattoo referring to a Bible verse and talks about religion in almost every single interview. I think it's all this piety that angers fans. I mean, if people truly hate someone, they'll use anything as an excuse to hate him even more. He's boring? Let's hate him. He's too religious? Let's hate him. But maybe at the end of the day, they just hate him because he's too good, and there's no denying it.
Now he's going for Kimura.
It is all over. Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Jon Jones is way too good. It's not uncommon for people to hate someone who's at the top of his field. This has happened way too many times in history for me to not bring it up. Remember when everyone loved the New England Patriots and Tom Brady? Yeah, but then they started winning a little too much, and people didn't like it. Or when Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls were fan favorite before they won all those championships. It's the same thing with Jones. He's not known for losing, and fans are often worried that he will defeat their favorites, if he hasn't already. Jones found way too much success at a young age, and he's probably one of the best fighters the MMA has seen.
Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
And this, with all the reasons I mentioned before, is why he's the most hated. See you in the next video.